Hey ladies, welcome. In today's message, Pastor Mildred Kingsley Akonkwo is sounding the alarm. Women, don't sleep on your baby. Whether it's your child, your purpose, your dream, don't ignore what God has placed in your hands. It's time to rise, nurture it, and walk boldly. Let's dive in.
Don't let them kill your baby. Tell your neighbor, don't let them kill your baby. Now, this story looks like a story that you would tell children. I'm sure a lot of you read it in my book of Bible stories or you heard it in Sunday school. And we focused on the wisdom of Solomon, how wise he was. And truly he was, because I honestly don't know how he came up with this. It must have been very hard to decide who had the child. Both women were prostitutes. Both of them were living in the same house. Both of them had babies at the same time. And nobody but the two of them knew who had the child. Nobody. So it was a case of two fighting and a case of you said, she said. So when they brought this matter to Solomon, there was no way for him to know who really had the child. But you see, every time I read this story, God tries to draw my attention to other things. He says there's more in that story than just Solomon's wisdom. And there's something we can learn from it this morning, and that's what I want to try to show you. Now, these two women, they're not too different from us. In fact, I celebrate them because it takes a lot for people who are in the wrong, people who are prostitutes, to have an issue and not hide it from the king. To be able to understand that when you have a challenge, whether it's a challenge in marriage, whether it's a challenge in your business, whether it's a challenge in your life, to know that you should not hide it from the king. And from the king here, I mean not hide it from God. So in other words, Solomon was a certain type, in quotes, for this example now, of God. And so they had an issue. They were not perfect women. They were prostitutes. The Bible said, they were certain women. The ones that there was a certain woman, the Bible will tell us there was a certain woman. These ones, they were prostitutes. So the way they even had the baby safe was questionable. The father, we don't know. But they had a challenge and they went to God. They had a problem. First of all, this one was careless enough to sleep off and sleep on her child. I don't know that kind of sleep. I don't know it. I know that when you are nursing, you can be very tired. But even if you are tired, it's better that you lie. There's a way you will still be conscious somehow, Sha. The sleep that you sleep and scatter body and sleep on top of your child till your child dies, I don't understand it. However, a lot of us do it in marriages. We get so comfortable that we destroy our babies, we destroy our marriages. Vashti did it. She was queen, married to a king, married to the greatest king that lived at that time. They did 6 months party, 6 months. And as the king was celebrating, she too was given her own platform. She was celebrating. And then the king said, go and call Vashti for me. And Vashti said she won't come. Why? Because she had gotten comfortable. She had, for lack of a better word, she has seen the king finish. See, finish has entered. The king sent for you. Do you understand? The king sent for you and you say you are not coming. Why? Because you are throwing your party. You too, you have party. Who gave you party? Who gave you crown? And so a lot of us get married and we get comfortable. We get so comfortable that we start to destroy our partners. A lot of times, people are fantastic outside, but at home they're horrible. A lot of people are they're amazing outside. They are polite, they are kind, they are generous. Some of you, if you know what your husbands are doing outside, dashing people money, but you don't even have money to buy always. Yes. And that was exactly what happened here. She got comfortable and slept on her baby. Slept on the one thing that she should be protecting. And that's how a lot of us have become. We sleep so much that we're destroying the marriage that God has asked us to protect. I told you yesterday that marriage is not about us. We don't just marry for love. We marry for God, for kingdom, and for duty. So marriage is really about God and it's an assignment. So when God places a marriage in your hand, He has given you a tool that you can use to change this world. Why? Because number one, you produce children. You create culture in those children, and that culture is based on scripture. So your children are raised and trained so that they can answer the enemy at the gate. And this generation, there's enemy at the gate. There's enemy at the gate. All kinds of things are happening. Do you know there are laws now outside this country that if your child says, I'm feeling like your son says, Mommy, I feel like I'm a boy, you can't tell him, oh no, you were born again. You can't, I feel like I'm a girl. You can't have that conversation with him. They will arrest you. Your child can go to school as Samuel and come back as Samuela. They've done everything. They've cut off everything that can be cut off. That's the children that are being born in this generation. If we don't raise them to be able to answer the enemy at the gate, it will be a disaster. And I know that a lot of people are afraid. Sometimes when I say these things, people are like, maybe we should get them off social media. Maybe we should collect their tabs, collect their phones. Yeah. Even if you collect it, your classmates have phones and have tabs. And that thing you're hiding from them, that conversation you don't want to have, they will have it to them and they have it to them the wrong way. And so sometimes people are afraid. And I say to you, listen, your children were born for such a time as this. Everything that they need to fight the enemy in this time is put in them. But we need to train them the right way. We need to train them the right way. And so that's why you cannot play with this thing that God has given you, this vehicle, this tool that God has given you, that is marriage. Interesting, marriage is one of the greatest ways that we can evangelize in these end times. A lot of people don't know that. Look at Jesus at the wedding at Cana. After he changed water to wine, when they took it to the master of ceremony, the guy said, how did you guys do it? Other people, they will share the useless wine. People are finished. When they will share the good wine, people have drunk, they will not share anything. But you did your own differently. What's your secret? All they needed to say was, Jesus did it. People will be asking you, because in this day of divorce everywhere, if you are doing marriage right, people will ask you how you are doing it. Because whether we like it or not, it's getting worse. Outside, people are, I can't count number of divorces per minute. People are divorcing per second. Once you just hear, I can't. Let's just say, Pastor, I can't deal. My mental health can't handle it. Just know that saying a divorce follow. And when we're younger, divorce, before you hear divorce, in fact, you might not even hear divorce. The person will just carry their load and be going, But these days, it's not even that type of. People actually serve papers. It's now easy. People are now going to school to be divorce lawyers. That's the work. It's not. So a time will come when, if you are married, you will be a scarce commodity. Mark my words. And that will be an opportunity to preach the gospel. So these people, they got careless and killed their babies. They now got to the king. This one said, my baby. And in fact, not only the one that even amuses me is not the one that slept off and killed their baby. It's the one that they carried baby from beside you. You did not know. They placed another baby beside you. You did not know. You now wake up in the morning and say, this baby. But you know what happened? She took the baby to the light. Let me tell you. Somebody just got it. Your husband or your wife may be misbehaving. Take them to the light. Go and look to check, is this what God really gave me? And if it is not what God really gave you, don't allow them kill your baby. Tell your neighbor, don't allow them kill your baby. Your spouse may be misbehaving, but take them to the light and remind yourself and check, is this really the one God gave me? She took that baby to the light and she said, no, this is not my baby. And you know what she said? She said, I will not accept a dead baby. She didn't say I'm done. She didn't say I can't. She didn't say, oh, my mental health can't handle this. This is a dead baby. I can't. I can't. I need to protect. She said, this is not my baby. This is not my baby. And you know, when we're getting married, this happens a lot. When we're getting married, in fact, I don't think I know anyone who has gotten married and they are frowning. They come to the altar in love. In fact, they call themselves baby. Yes, baby. I see the stars in your eyes. Every time I wake up in the morning, your voice is the first voice, and I promise you till the day I die that your voice will be the last. You'll be saying nonsense vow. Read pastor's vow now. They say, no, pastor, we have our own vows. And Pastor Sunday will say, okay, go ahead. The man will now oh, baby. Oh, God. Now they put dead baby near you, not notice. But when you were saying I do here, you didn't know. So a lot of times, we don't realize that just because somebody is misbehaving does not mean that's the end of that matter. Don't accept a dead baby. If it's your baby, fight for your baby. You know this is not your baby. You see your baby is alive. Fight for your baby. You know that the Bible tells us that it's while men slept that the enemy sowed tares. So this sleep sometimes is not a physical sleep. It's not even, and sleep one day enough. Sleep is even involuntary. It's not something that you just say, I just want to sleep. Some people can't do it. I'm not one of those people that can say, I want to sleep, I'll just sleep. No. It has to just follow me. For some people, that's how it's happened. over the years, you didn't even know you were taking your partner for granted. You didn't even know you were doing anything wrong. You were just being and getting used to that person. So you snap at the person, shout at the person, waiting every day now we go talk happy birthday. Waiting happen where every day now we go celebrate. It's anniversary, so is this a special year? Is this a milestone year? I beg, you continue doing those things bit by bit before you know it. Because usually something happens that kills the baby. So if you start treating your partner somehow, they too start behaving somehow. And sometimes we don't even take notice. So for instance, you're married to a man and the man treats you very well. All of a sudden you start to disrespect him. As you start to disrespect him, or you withhold love from a woman who has been treating you well, after a while, her response to you will be to start to disrespect you. The easiest times for women to disrespect their husbands is when they found out the man has cheated. Men don't know it, but somehow you become useless in her sight. You'll be smelling. You are a dirty man. That is this useless thing. See what you even follow. House gay, smelling man. And then you come on, I'm the head of this home. Go first get head now before you go be head of home. As in, I'm telling you, women may not tell you, but their hearts, you become small. That's why the Bible says that an adulterous woman wants to reduce you to a piece of bread. Bread is the most common thing now. So when a man cheats, or a woman cheats, whoever cheats, they become useless. That's what the Bible is saying. And the funny thing is that Satan always goes after the precious soul. Normal boys that are bouncing on the road, nobody's looking for them all. Is that man, that your special baby that you have prayed, you have believed God, you have confessed. That's the one that they will now be giving number, sliding into his DM, doing all kinds of things. So this woman took her baby to the light and saw that this is not the baby. This is not my baby. And she said, I will not let this happen to me. She fought for her baby. They went to the king. And you know what happened? When they got there, the king said something. The king said, bring a sword. Let's kill this baby. The one that was not her child said, of course. Cut the baby in two too. If I can't have the baby, she can't have the baby. And you know that that's what's happening. Let me tell you, if something happens, something goes wrong in your home, be careful of the people that you go to. And you say, oh, see what my husband did. They say, now so all men be useless. They're helping you to cut your baby. Don't let them kill your baby.
If this message spoke to you, don't just watch it, act on it. Your baby, your purpose, your calling, it matters. Don't sleep on it. God is counting on you to carry it through. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so more women can rise into purpose. See you in the next video, and remember, you were made for more.